The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
And I don't necessarily feel good, so I'm trying to not look like a hot mess, but I don't want the shade all in my face well, you guys don't do video anyway, right?
Yeah,
well,
we do.
Live
Oh, that's
now.
right. I watched you guys last week. That's right. All right.
Yeah,
so
and you're live now, buddy.
Then I'll
Watching
turn it
all
around.
the mess.
Hey, in keeping in tradition.
Osman, Don, before we start, I just missed you. You okay? Life good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, life is okay. Really busy at work. Nothing outside the norm. So I guess it's good. It's normal. It is what it normally is. It's just I've had this cough. It's been this bronchial croupy cough for 2 weeks. And I've refrained from going to the doctor because the same thing happened last year, and they basically gave me cough medicine.
What's the thing that babies get? Do you have hand and foot mouth disease?
I don't think so. But I have been known to stick foot in mouth. So, that's a thing that happens. Maybe so. But
right.
Today, it's crushing me, guys. I've been on the couch for 10 hours. I'm just sitting there just
I do recall seeing the sick cuddles picture. With
yes. Yeah, I've just been laying around all day. I've had no energy at all. I just took a shower to kind of get up for OT, and this is the up that you're getting today. It's not that up.
I support it.
Hey,
right.
I'm good with it. As long as you're here and you got some words for us, that's all that really matters.
I did Madden. I did some Madden.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at you.
Dude, that Madden is good, Mo.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's really good.
This is I say this every year, and everyone's like, "Oh,
but when you say it all the time, you become, the kid that cried wolf. But this Madden is dope.
Saying all the time, and it's right. The wolf's there still.
I don't know. I have to go with Donnie. Yeah, this year's Madden apparently is awesome.
This year's Madden is freaking great.
He was complaining. He hated last year's Madden. The zones were broken and everything, and it's this one. He's like, "Oh my god, they fixed everything I hated about last year's Madden and then some." So
okay,
I don't know anything about any of
were not broken last year. The problem was every DB could jump a route, which is true. Every DB can jump a route. Okay, that happens in football. Sometimes they just know. This one consistently only the best of the best jump routes, which is why there's a difference there.
Oh, no, that wasn't his problem. It wasn't the DBs jumping routes. It was the zones, just people not going to where they were supposed to go.
See, I didn't have that problem. But maybe he's just a bad play caller. Maybe he's got to learn to call plays.
He's just like you. He only cares about the defensive side of the ball. He does not ever want to play. He never wants to play offense at all.
No one should.
His offense is the most predictable thing ever. It's run right, run left, tight end seam down the middle, and then a toss. That's about the extent of his offense. He may throw a crossing pattern.
Is he playing Tecmo Bowl?
My offense is punt on first down, play more defense.
Honestly, I think my boy, if he could do that, he would, because it's I just want to ground and pound, run out the time, and then keep you from scoring. That's his whole goal. I want to. His perfect game is 7-3.
Wow. I love that Kevin's gonna have to edit out 6 minutes of talk before he
just Madden. That's fine. I just think Madden's really pretty. I don't know about all that. It's just really, really pretty. It's a really pretty football game.
Have you seen it on PC?
I only saw the screenshot that Mo posted, but on X, I can't imagine it looks that much better.
I've been playing all three. It does go PC, X, PS4 as far as looks.
Yeah,
that PC. Oh God,
it's special, guys.
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot.
Time for the cough. Time for the intro.
I can help you with that.
Shut up and sit down.
Thank you, family, for joining us at PSVG OT number 38, I believe. I'm not sure, so good luck with that, Kevin. Thank you for joining myself, Coach Mo, and my dude, my boy, Dev to the Tyus, Dev the Destiny Slayer. DT, are you with me? What up, Dev? Yeah, buddy. Right?
Here,
that's I practiced that 15 times. I thought you should know. And
that was awesome.
Also joining us, the one, the only, as we refer to him, the boss man, Don, the darn Carleone of PSVG. Boss man. I know you're not feeling good, but we're really glad you're here. How's everything else?
Glad to be your Don Corleone. That's good stuff.
Right? Yeah. See,
you are the Don, sir. You are the Godfather.
I can write an intro. It may not always make sense to everybody, but the people who are around know what I'm doing. They catch on to the coach craziness. Now, we normally don't do this in the beginning. It's more towards the end, but we want to shout out our Patreon producer. Our Patreon producer for tonight's show is Pepper Jack Cheese, the most underrated and awesome cheese of all cheeses. Me and my buddy Dan were talking about how Pepper Jack doesn't get the shout out it deserves. Try it right now at Chick-fil-A on a spicy chicken sandwich, and that Pepper Jack's going to show you why it's the best of the cheeses. Thank you, Pepper Jack, for donating to our Patreon and making us better today. Now, that was a heck of a line. I did really good just now. Goodness, Kevin, use me more, man. Use my gifts.
Pepper Jack, we salute you.
Thank you, Pepper Jack. Now, we're getting into where we talk about the two things we're built on. We're built on sharing stories and laughing and having a good time, and we're built on unpreparedness. Now, I haven't asked this lately because we haven't had a guest, but boss man Don, my dude DT, are you with me? Have I prepared you in any way, shape, or form what's about to happen?
Absolutely not.
Say's true. All right, now our question for today. This is one that actually I came up with about 3 weeks ago, but we went a serious route. So I'm very jacked to talk about it. I want us to share our most awkward midnight release story. Now, this is a fun one because it's 2013 coach. 2013 coach still new to the gaming world. So I pre-ordered the Xbox One, pre-ordered the PS4. I believe PS4 came out first.
Correct.
So I already have my PS4, and the game that came out just after that was a little game called Battlefield 4. I don't know if you guys picked that one up.
Sure did.
So I pre-ordered it. Well, however, on the night of release for Battlefield 4, another game came out for the 360 called Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. I pre-ordered both these games. Why? Because I like the Pac-Man story mode games. I think they're a hoot. I really enjoy them. So I'm in line. Everyone's talking. Like, oh, you jacked for Battlefield 4. Da, 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 da. I'm like, actually, no, I'm here to pick up Pac-Man. People laugh around me. I chuckle because I know I'm telling the truth. I know that what I'm doing is hilarious. We get in line. I go up. They hand me my Battlefield 4, and I go, excuse me, sir, you forgot my Pac-Man. Guy behind me, dude, stop joking around. I want to go play the game. Like, no, seriously, I pre-ordered Pac-Man. Dude behind me, like, literally, like, back talks me. It's like, this isn't a joke, dude. I'm trying to get my game. I'm like, homie, look at my receipt. And the GameStop employee looks at it and goes, you're right. Let me go grab your Pac-Man. I was the only Pac-Man pre-order for the 360. I was the only one in the store, and he had to go in the back to get it, making the dude behind me more angry. So I finally get my second game. We leave. This dude's mumbling and stumbling. He's throwing out a little curse word. And you know how when someone's following you and you know they're upset? And you know that awkward feeling, like you want to look back because you're like, you want to make sure you're safe, but you don't want to look back because you don't want them to know that you're looking back. So I'm like, hey, I'm just going to walk to my car. He follows me. I'm like, if it's going to go down like this, I'm a big man with big hands, and I'll throw down, my friend. I got you. So I literally come out to my car. I put my keys in my hand. I put the one key in the middle, and I grasp it because I had the flip key. And I go, listen, I'm ready to go. He keeps walking to his car. we just happen to be parked by each other. So that's my most awkward midnight release story. All right. So let's go with Dev. Dev, what's yours?
Man, I'm sitting here racking my brain trying to remember any midnight releases, because usually when they started doing the midnight release and it was a big thing, I was working them because I worked at Best Buy, and I generally would either opt in to work the midnight releases just so I could get the game, get the extra hours, or because I was the gaming soup and I had to be there. So I other than that, I don't do the midnight release. I think the only midnight release game that I've actually picked up was, I want to say, Cataclysm, World of Warcraft, and then Destiny 2. I think those were the only games that I actually picked up at midnight. So awkward. I'm trying to think if I had any awkward customer interactions. And the only thing I can think of is like the times when somebody has pre-ordered something and they think it's at our store, come to find out it's at a different store. That happens so many times. I'm like, how did you forget that you pre-ordered Call of Duty 4 at the Best Buy up the street? Like, you're really here at store 1180 when your receipt clearly says 116 or 130. Like, there were 2 other Best Buys around us, but we got so many times people would show up to midnight releases with the wrong receipt and then get mad at us that we can't release the game. I'm like, dude, I can't process your transaction. It's not from this store. I don't have your game. You see all the people behind you that are getting angry at you because you won't get out of my face when I don't have your game. You're at the wrong store. If you go to the other store, you get your game. And these people can get their game because they're in the right store. So I had just a lot of interactions like that where customers just were at the wrong store, or the really fun ones when their cards get declined. And then we're sitting there forever trying to run the card again. Do you have a different card? Do you have cash? That's always awkward for everybody because you feel bad for the person because like you really can't do nothing for them, and they're feeling real awkward because their card just got declined. That's never a fun feeling. So I would have to say those are probably the most awkward midnight release stories I've ever had. Oh, other than the last time for when I picked up Destiny 2, as I'm leaving the store, there's a Cold Stone right next to us, and my daughter, 2 of the people who work in my daughter's school were like, "Mr. Tyus, what are you picking up? You here for this? What's going on?" They were all like super confused. Had no
Do you bring your kids? What are you doing at the video game store? It's midnight.
I didn't. No. We got to remember, 9 p.m. is midnight release for us over here on the West Coast.
That's not the same.
No.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, why do I don't have to wait till midnight? I actually get to play the game and still get some sleep.
Dude, I would live out west if I could. That's so awesome.
Now, I will say, I actually my first 3 pre-orders I ever made, I went to make them at the one GameStop, but I went to pick them up at another one, and they didn't tell me. No, they literally were calling and canceling the pre-order, adding it to their store, and having me pick it up. I didn't know they were making the phone call, and so finally on the third one, he was like, "Hey, do you just want to move your pre-orders over here?" And I go, "What do you mean? Like, can't I just pre-order them at any GameStop?" And the guy's like, "No, you've been canceling at this other store, and like it hurts their numbers. So if you're gonna pick stuff up here, pre-order here." It's like, "Oh, yeah, I can do that. My bad."
Yeah, I remember that.
Valuable life lessons.
It's odd when you have to have them like call the other store, and it's like, "We've got your customer here, and he doesn't want to buy it from you, so we're just gonna cancel that."
Yeah, no, we didn't do that. There was none of that going down at Best Buy.
Yep. So, Boss Man Don, your awkward midnight release story, sir.
I just don't think any of mine qualify as awkward. My Wii U story qualifies as awkward, but it wasn't a midnight release.
Sure, then do your best.
I've told that one too. Caroline's awkward only because I was totally just like creeping all over Caroline on the Switch launch. Like, "You've got to come join our podcast." That's a weird thing to do to somebody.
Yeah.
Yes,
I did Skyrim at launch, GTA at launch, PS4 at launch. I've told my Wii U story like 2 or 3 times already, so I'll tell my PS4 story. And I just don't know how it was interesting, but I don't know how awkward it was. PS4 is 2014, 2013,
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in college. And then when it was cold, it was November, something like that, October. And I was at college and a night class that night, and chemistry at Mercer. I hate chemistry.
Chemistry is awesome.
So we were in chemistry class, and my class took me till I think 11, and GameStop was opening the store at 10. And I remember telling my teacher in my class, I was like, "I'm totally skipping. I gotta go. Like, is there anything that we can do to speed this up for me? I've got things to do." And they're like, "Absolutely not. This is college. What are you talking about?" I was like, "Well, there's this video game thing coming out. I gotta go. I gotta bounce." And I just remember having that with the friends in class, and that was interesting because everybody's making fun of me. But I had to be there because I had pre-ordered my PS4 from our local GameStop at the time, the first day that you could, which I believe was the day after E3. They did the E3 where they did the used game promo and everybody cheered and whatnot. And at 8 o'clock that morning, when GameStop opened the doors, you could pre-order a PlayStation 4, and I was there. So when I ordered, I made this joke because I was really good friends with my old guy. I was like, "Man, come on, I got to be number 1 in line so me and my dude can play some Resogun, some Killzone and whatnot." And on my receipt, he wrote number 1. So when I drove up to the GameStop, I had the luxury, or if you call it that, of walking to the front of like this 50-person deep line and just standing, just be like, hey, excuse me, like you right here at the door. Yep, just need you slide back just a little bit. Yep, I'm here. Thanks. Quit, skip school and everything. Gotta come get my console. And then, everybody was like, what the? We've been here for hours. This is people that have been there all day. I was like, sorry, you should have been here back in June. Like, I've been here since June. I don't know about you guys. I've been here. I was number one. See this receipt? So that was a little awkward. That was a little weird. People didn't really like that, but it was an awesome night. I'll never forget bringing that thing home. My friend came over. I was obviously I was off work. It was a Friday, I want to say. I think we're off work the next day. I don't know, something like that. If I wasn't, I took off and I just played PlayStation 4 all night long.
And that was the last time Donnie played PlayStation.
I will say at lunch, I was rocking some Resogun. That's still probably my favorite game on the PS4.
So I was actually in Hawaii when it launched, so I had my mom pick up the system for me. I was waiting for when I got back.
That's nice.
Respect. All right. Well, now we move into the questions. We only got 4, but it's because 2 of them are pretty in depth, and I want to make sure we spend the time of it. So the first one was directed towards me, but we're gonna give it to everybody. And it was, Coach, why did you cancel all your pre-orders? So Dev, I'm gonna have you go first. And I'll let Donnie do talk about pre-order canceling, and I'll jump in and wrap that one up. All right.
So why did I cancel all my pre-orders? Well, I don't have any pre-orders other than Destiny 2. And that's not getting canceled. However, I'm not really buying much of anything else right now. Like Spider-Man's about to come out. I'm not getting that at launch. Just whatever else is coming out right now, like Red Dead and all that stuff, I probably won't be picking anything up until Black Friday, just because like what we've noticed the last 2 years is just like all the games that come out in the fall, like if you just wait a month, they go half price on Black Friday. So like that's when I plan on making the majority of my fall purchases are going to be on Black Friday, because if I don't have to spend $60 and I can get the game for $30, especially now that they've taken away like the Gamers Club, the Amazon thing is going away. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to save $1 or $2 here, just because, times are always a little rough. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait until Black Friday, pick my games up then, and there'll be some stuff that I don't even pick up on Black Friday, and I'll wait till it goes on super duper sale next year, because I probably am not gonna be able to get to a whole lot other than Destiny at this point. I do want to play Spider-Man as soon as I can, so Black Friday, that'll probably be my game that I play like over winter vacation. But other than that, I'm just not picking up a whole lot of games this fall.
It's because he's got to buy a Switch.
I'm halfway there. Halfway there, Daddy. Makes you feel better. I'm halfway to the Switch, okay?
The yin to my yang, I haven't canceled anything. And matter of fact, I've just pre-ordered everything. So I'm just waiting for them all to come in so I can start playing some more games. I'm in that weird spot where I've kind of beat the games that I am able to beat and waiting for the games that I want to play. So I'm kind of just like messing around with stuff. That's why I'm playing Madden. I played Fallout and things like that. So
play NBA Live. Play the demo. Just check
I'm not playing NBA Live, man. Come on with that mess.
Dude, that baseline around the defender dribble is dope. I've used that more than I care to admit.
It's called 2K. Quit sticking for the underdog. Quit trying to fight the underdog story, all right? It's called 2K.
Hey, I'm not trying to fight the underdog. I'm not trying to play the story. I'm just saying, like, while you're waiting, while you're in this lull of nothing to play, there is a demo. Check it out. That's all I'm saying.
What I don't understand, Donnie, is you have an awesome group of kids, right? You have a son and a daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty great. Wouldn't you want to support a game that actually includes, female all-stars like your daughter in it?
You're trying to play
I'm just saying 2K doesn't support.
Yeah, guess what? My daughter doesn't give a crap about basketball. She wouldn't play it at all. If she cared, I would.
She might if she saw herself in the game. Just saying.
I've taken her to
takes her phone. She can make her own player in there. You know what? You can't do that in 2K. Can't do that. Can't be a woman in 2K.
You know what? I'll try the demo. I've tried it last year. I'll try it again.
Yes. All right. So this has been. I've gotten a lot of text messages when I started talking about canceling my pre-orders with my kids, and they're like, "But Coach, you always play everything, and then you talk to us about it and do this and this." And here's the thing: like, I'm in a brand new school with new kids, and I love them. That's my job. My job is to love kids and to help them out and support them. But here it's not the same relationship. And so I don't feel like I have to play everything. Also, this summer I didn't really achievement hunt. I just kind of played games as I felt I wanted to play. And over the last 3 weeks, I've only played 2 games. One, I'm a little embarrassed to say, and the other one's Madden. I've played Madden on the PC. I've played Madden on the Xbox, Madden on the PS4. On the 3DS, been playing a little game. I don't know if you guys know it.
The Animal Crossing.
I've been playing Animal Crossing.
The Animal Crossing is dope. That thing is so addictive.
Understand it.
It's so good, Devin. It's so good. It's Second Life, man. It's like this different life.
Oh, Dev.
What do you do? Farm?
Yeah. You collect fruit. You catch bugs. You fish. Yeah, I know.
I fish and do the seashells, and I do the bugs. I don't do the fruit.
Like seashells.
But you just collect them and you sell them and you make your house bigger and
talk
you
to folks, have birthday parties.
It's the weirdest. Like, Dev, I play it at night. Like, just
that's awesome.
I don't know why it started, but like once it started, I'm playing it. But to get into the canceled pre-orders, I used to play so that I could talk to my kids about it. Now I'm in a situation where I play what I want to play. And that means me and Dan, we're in the middle of season 2 on our Madden franchise. By tomorrow, we're probably going to be starting season 3.
I was getting ready to say I was totally expecting you guys to be in season 3 already.
We're week 12 or week 13 right now in season 2, Jesus. Which we got to last Saturday. So like that's the thing. Like I just, for me, like when I canceled Red Dead, when I canceled Assassin's Creed, and I canceled all these other ones, I canceled my Black Ops. It's not because I'm not going to play those games eventually, but when I want to play them is when I will pick it up. Makes sense. When, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I picked up Octopath Traveler and played it for 5 minutes and traded it in, I feel like that was one of those ones where had I gotten it when I was in the mood for that kind of game, that I would have beaten. Because what I've seen on YouTube, the story stuff that I missed because it just wasn't that moment for me, stuff that I think I would have enjoyed. Mm-hmm. I would have enjoyed playing with the 8 different characters and going through the things with them. It is 8, correct, Donnie? Am I right on that? I think it's 8.
It is.
Yep.
It is. So those are things that I would have enjoyed, and seeing where all those things line up and run into each other. And I missed it due to the fact that I just wasn't in the mood for that type of game. So in canceling the pre-orders, it was just me. I want to play what I want to play. And I no longer like feel that need to go play stuff to talk about it with my kids because you guys, you know, we're apart. If there's ever something that like they want me to play, like if I get hit up, say, Coach, try Battlefield. Cool, I'll do an EA Access or I'll rent it at a Redbox. But I'm not going to buy stuff that I don't want to play anymore. Like I'm going to just kind of do what I feel on that one. All right. So our next question. Sorry, my wife's being a dork. So we're in a 1-bedroom apartment. And evidently, even though you can't see her and the door is right here, she's crawling to the kitchen. And it's probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever witnessed.
I want to see if she should come on the TV.
The camera can't see you.
Come say hello.
Yeah. Come say hello. Say hi. Like dip in. Just be like, hey.
Babe, you know, stop crawling. Donnie and Dev want you to come say hi.
Say hi.
Come say hi. Don't be scared. You just come say hello.
Don't be scared.
All right. Well, they just heard you say that. That's
did.
how the microphone works. So if you just come say hi.
Tell her we took great offense.
They're really offended, and Donnie's going to fire me. We're in the middle of a show. Don't get me fired. All right. Our second question. Explain why you Patreon, and how does it change things? Side question. If Coach had a Patreon, what would it be for? I can't answer that, and I'm not going to answer that one. Please be nice, you two. So, Dev, explain the Patreon, and how does it change things, and what would mine be?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to defer that question to Donnie because he's the boss. So I'm going to let him handle that. However, what your Patreon would be for would be to, let's see, something with the Bears. You know, you would be trying to, you'd be trying to just reinvigorate the Bears and make them great again. That's what I think your Patreon would go towards, just making the Bears respectable again.
You're a good friend. That's why we're buddies. All right, Boss Man Don, explain the Patreon, and if I had one, what would it be?
Excuse me, I'm gonna cough.
Cough.
The Patreon at patreon.com/makeusbetter is a support tool for listeners of PSVG OT, Shaq, Board with Video Games, PSVG Prime, and all of our shows, as well as a bunch of other creators like Sean Capri and the Xbox Drive, Joseph Moran, the Trophy Room, the Warp Whistle, Nintendo Nostalgia. We kind of joined this big family of podcasters and video creators and streamers and YouTubers, and we kind of all support each other. And the funding that goes into Make Us Better is cut equally between the partners. So PSVG is an equal share as with everybody else. And the funding is meant to be used to, in fact, make our product better. So the way that we have used the funds that we've gotten from patreon.com so far is, I'm not sure if you've listened to PSXP or PSVG Prime, Board of Video Games this past week as another one, but several folks have gotten mics. Seth has got a new microphone. Kevin has a new microphone. Josh has a new microphone. We bought stickers. We bought business cards. We got some stationery. If you fund at a certain level, we write you a thank you letter, a handwritten thank you letter. So we sent thank you notes all over the world. That was something I never thought I would ever do. I've never addressed an envelope to Great Britain or Ireland, or like I was just like, how do we mail this? I don't even know how many stamps gets a letter to Ireland. How does this work? So there's a lot of cool things that we do with it. It's funny that this question came up because we've been meeting for a while now, and I can't really discuss or say now, but there's some things that are coming down the pike for those that choose to support us via Patreon that I'm very excited about, that I think the PSVG staff will be very excited about, and including a tier that is meant to just make Patreon or PSVG better. We're going to have a PSVG tier goal that'll be coming soon that we all agreed to do today. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Go team.
Yeah, go team. It's a little interesting being in the position of having the money dealt our way, because everybody has the right to do with the money however they want. There's no rules or anything like that. But for me, I know Kevin knows this because I've already talked about it. I feel like a very strong, social debt, guilt, to make sure that not only am I using it, but I'm using it in the right way. So I'm trying to get rid of it almost as soon as possible. And it's kind of counterproductive because it's really meant to be recouping costs. That's kind of the focus was we're going to make you do this for free. And I'm just mics for everybody. And I'm down $400 already. It's just a license to spend. I'm treating it like a credit card. It's everybody gets new stuff. So
that's why you're the boss, Donnie.
Boss man Don.
Yeah. I would feel awful, just awful, if I pocketed it or did anything dumb with it. But eventually, we'll hopefully, once we kind of get everybody's audio game up, because that was kind of a focus, and once we kind of get some of the costs down, I want to start doing monthly giveaways and stuff like that. It's another thing coming down the radar.
Awesome.
Did he just say giveaways?
I believe he did, and I think we have one coming, don't we?
We do. We have two actually on the horizon. We still have that little nest thingy, whatever it's called, the Nintendo thing. Mm-hmm. And we also have, in addition to that, a copy of Destiny 2 for the Xbox One with all the bells and whistles for the new expansion coming out November 7th-ish. I'm not 100%.
No, you're wrong. It's September 4th.
Who cares? Days. Guys, it's Destiny to me. Right now, all I think about is Madden.
Okay? Understood.
I have Excel sheets right here next to me, and they're all about Madden stuff. So let's come on, relax. The fact that I knew it was in a month. Achievement.
This is true.
All right, and once Don didn't embarrass me by saying what my Patreon before.
Oh no!
I'm moving on.
No, you're not. I have a good one. So people fund a Patreon that goes to your favorite cupcake shop now that you're back in Florida, and you can just walk in whenever you want and just grab a cupcake. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to check out anything. She just has access to draw money off of this. So it's it's patreon.com/Mo eats a cupcake. And that's it. And every day, there's a live video cam, and people across the nation, the Truman Show, can watch Mo walk in and eat a cupcake, and then you just leave. That's it.
Support all of this. This is the best Patreon idea ever. Well done, boss man. Well done.
That is awesome. I would pay for that.
Yep. Now this next one, I'm gonna answer first because I get really hot and bothered on it. The question is, how do you feel about the Urban Meyer situation? I'm pissed.
Oh no!
We picked the right questions. Mo, you did a good job. You didn't pick the right questions.
The reason I'm so mad about it is, as a coach, I believe there are a lot of rules I have to follow. There are a lot of things I have to do. My responsibility is to the child. How am I making them better human beings? It's not to winning. It's not to any of that stuff. And I think coaches who do the whole winning thing, there's a problem. Like when you're so consumed with winning, you're not teaching. You're not making the student athlete better. You're not making them, grow. And like, I love winning. I love being competitive. But at the same time, like, my job is to be a good teacher. It's to be a good educator. In this situation, I personally feel that this is where Urban Meyer messed up, is that he had to have been willing to have these conversations sooner, is what I'm going to say. I don't blame the board of trustees. Yeah, I blame the athletic director, who I really don't understand how the athletic director who had the information is penalized less than the coach that gave the information. That just drives me bonkers. That does not make sense to me, whatever. I think the board of trustees missed on that. I really do think the athletic director should have been punished more, if not let go. But my issue with Urban Meyer is, when you go through, 10 hours of whatever the debate, the talk, the council, how do you not apologize to the person who was hurt right away? Like, how is that not the first name out of your mouth? I understand that you might have, this story has multiple sides and that there are issues on both parties where they did things wrong. But if this guy was being physically and verbally abusive, she still was a victim of that abuse. And that's what was being contained. And I feel like Urban should have spoken on that first instead of waiting. That's my 2 cents. Now, once Donnie's all dressed up, Donnie, what's yours, bud?
Yeah, I couldn't let my fandom go unrepresented. I went and put on my scarlet jersey of shame this week.
Buckeye.
Go Bucks. Without regurgitating all of it, there's a lot to the story. Obviously, being a huge Ohio State fan from birth, as well as a big football fan and former recruit, I followed all of it pretty in depth. And a lot of the local writers, I think, did a really good job. Specifically, shout out to Cleveland.com's Doug LeMaurice, who got every police report and covered every bit of it, both in audio and written form, in a very non-biased way, and broke it all down. You're right. There are a lot of sides to the story. And just to answer the quick question, why he didn't, it's more like, the answer is because he doesn't think she was. And whether that's right or wrong, true or false, that's the reason why. They don't think her claims are the way she's portraying them, and they have some reason for that, and so do several other people, including her own family and whatnot. I'm not trying to discredit her. I'm just saying there's a lot of evidence pointing that way, and it's more or less a he said, she said thing. Now, not that I condone domestic violence at all, absolutely not, but I will say, up until the report, and I'm filing the actual written investigation that came out, I was actually defending Urban Meyer. Up until that point, there's nothing that violated any terms of breach of contract or anything that warranted firing, or, to be honest with you, penalty at all. Up until that point, what the media portrayed, what has actually been made available, was a lot of he said, she said. It was a lot of did he know, didn't he know? We found out that he did know, and that he did report it, and he seemed to do his job. And then the report came out, and after that awful press conference where he acted like a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum, you could tell he just doesn't believe he deserves punishment at all. He's just very angry right now. After that awful press conference, they released the investigation, which is another shameful act. Why the press wasn't allowed to see the investigation before questioning the people being punished is, that's a problem, because that's just going to continue the story. They're just going to ask all the questions the next time he's at the podium. So what did you accomplish? You're just making it worse. That said, I read all 23 pages of that report in bed. And I've been exchanging Twitter barbs with my dear friend Caroline, who just hates Urban Meyer because he just kicked George's teeth in for a decade. And she and I just told her, I was like, look, having read this report, I just kind of retract most of my defense. I actually, as a I would say a supporter of the university and the brand. I actually think he probably deserves to be fired. More so than just the he said, she said, not to demean that at all, but the actual physical evidence, the tangible evidence that you could have is just it's very much unbecoming behavior from a head football coach and a leader. Is poor leadership and something that he prides himself on being. And I still think he is a good person. He has tons of people that love him dearly, tons of students and coaches and players that, that would die for him. So I get it. But at the same time, he had a huge blind spot. And I mean, the report goes through every bit of it. I don't have to regurgitate it all for you guys, but there are literally 7 instances where it's documented on paper that they almost fired this knucklehead. How many almost firings do you get at a university with the prestige of Ohio State? It just makes the whole university look bad. And the university has come so far from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was a state college that everybody could get into. And now it's got a $2 billion cancer research. It owns the whole town. It's like a top 10 tech place in America. Like, the university above football is such a big deal now that the football program, is kind of living up to that image. The football program also a big deal. And this kind of just drug it all through the mud, and it looks awful. It's terrible, and I think the biggest part, I'm pretty sure the reason why they didn't fire him is twofold. One, it's his 900% winning percentage. Like, that's the reason he's not fired. If he wasn't good, they'd fire him. And 2, they owe him $48 million over the next 5 years. And while I do think he probably deserved to be fired after that report, there's nothing in the report that is like a breach of contract. There's nothing that's fireable with cause. So if they were to fire him, they'd have to pay him $48 million to go coach somewhere else. And I don't think they want to do that either. And I think that's why he has his job. I think this whole situation has hurt the Ohio State-Urban relationship. I don't think he'll be there that long after this, kind of. That's another thing that I'm thinking about. He may move on earlier than maybe he had planned before this, but just not really proud of the way that the investigation was handled, not really proud of the way Urban handled the situation, not really proud the way really any of it went. There's nothing really to be proud of here. Like, nobody wins. There's no justice. There's no victory. There's nothing. It's just it was a bad situation that I think the human element just made worse. Like, none of this got better. Like, Courtney Smith didn't get anything out of this. If anything, she just had her entire personal life ran through the mud on national TV. I don't think she found justice because her husband got fired, or her ex-husband got fired. Like, now I don't know what he's going to do anymore. Knucklehead like that. Nobody wins here. His kids aren't winning. She's not winning. The program doesn't win. Sorry to go on a rant, but yeah, I haven't had a chance to really talk about it.
No, it's all good. That's what the OT is for.
Yes, sir. All right, Dev, how do you feel?
I mean, my thoughts is this is just typical college bullcrap behavior. I just have so much just angst with just how things are always handled when it comes to college sports. It just seems like no matter what, it's always about putting the university first. It's like, how can we make sure that the university is okay? How do we spin this to where, the university isn't hurt by it?
That's sad, because I kind of feel like the way they went about it, the university was hurt about it. And I think they're scared that they won't be Ohio State without Urban. And that kind of makes me most upset, because that's Ohio State. The resources Ohio State has, they will live on well after Urban.
Right. My thing is, it should have been dealt with a long time ago. It shouldn't have come to this. Like you said, there were 7 almost fired instances for this dude. It should have been the second time. All right, you know what? We gave you a shot. You're screwing up again. It's time for you to go. But because we always want to kind of sweep this stuff under the rug, not let it come to the light, and basically for the most part, like if it were a student or whatnot, it's always they're like the players end up just being cogs in a system. Like, you are interchangeable. And it just sucks. God. And like you said, the press conference, like oh my God, like you said, he's like a little toddler. And it just shows, like, you know what, you don't even deserve to be there anymore if this is how you're going to act. Like how he said that, like, he felt like, to Courtney, I'm sorry, we have to go through this. You ain't going through nothing. Like, this ain't about you, bro. You should have turned this stuff in a long time ago, dealt with this a long time ago, and this wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and the AD, I think I'm sorry, I was putting on my jersey, I may have missed this, but the AD had an opportunity. The guy got arrested. Urban, the AD wanted to fire him. Urban talked him out of it, and the AD, it's his job to step in there. that is your job. Because especially at Ohio State, like, you're not scheduling games and things like that. Like, there's people in departments that take care of that stuff. Your job is to step in and go, look, I know he's your friend. I know you have a family relation. This isn't your call. This is my call. I'm taking this out of your hands. Mm-hmm. I'm the athletic director, and he didn't do that at all. So, yeah, nobody wins.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into an even harder question. Whew. What was the hardest workout you've ever had? Dev?
That's a good question. Hardest workout. Probably goes back to like my first 2 a day. Those are, oh my God. So I think it was the 9th grade. Oh God, long time ago. Yeah, we started summer practices or whatnot. We had those 2 a days where you're there early in the morning, getting your workout in, and then you got to go back in the afternoon and do it again. And this is summertime, so it's hot. And there's this thing called the Indian run. I don't know if you guys do this, where everybody gets in one long line and you're running basically around the track. Person from the back got to run all the way to the front. And then it just keeps going and keeps going. And that by far was the hardest workout I had ever had, man. That was just nonsense because you've already done basically 2 practices in that day. And now at the end of the practice, you got this Indian run and you're dying. Everybody's dying. You're just dreading when you get to like the linemen and they're getting slow and it's making the line that much longer. So instead of like a nice compact line, people that are getting slower are starting to trail off and it's making the line that much bigger. So now you have to run even further to get to the front. Oh my God, it was just awful. Awful, awful times.
Boss man Dan, hardest workout?
Wrestling practice. I've played a lot of sports like you two. It's pretty into athletics. There is nothing harder that I have ever done than wrestle a person of equal strength for 3 minutes. When you are exerting every bit of total body energy that you have, trying to pin or outmaneuver somebody else, it's exhausting. It's exhausting from a strength, a mental, a cardio level. And wrestling practice sucked. We used to have to build our mats. Coach, you ever do any wrestling or coach some wrestling? You familiar?
Have I told you guys my wrestling story?
Mm-mm.
Let me tell the story and then we can talk about mats. Here we go. Junior of high school. I'm 6'6", 6'7", 285, 290, somewhere around there. Playing defensive line for football, but then cutting weight for basketball. And so that's how I would get down to 290. I think I was playing football like 330. And so in the middle of the season, leading up to Christmas break, the wrestling coach comes into the gym. I'm over there working on post moves or whatever, and I see him talking to the coach. A couple minutes go by, and coach goes, "Big Mo, come over here." I'm like, okay, so I come over. And so the wrestling coach goes, "Hey, I'm coach, whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And he goes, "Well, we were wondering if you would like to wrestle for this Christmas tournament." And I go, "I've never wrestled before." And he goes, "Well, our 2 heavyweights both got kicked out of school. One was doing drugs. The other one got into a fight. He was like, I just need you to last," I think he said like 2 minutes so we can get some points on the board. Because I guess that's how you win the meet. And I'm like, will it affect basketball? He's like, nope. It's literally it's like the 23rd, whatever day that was. It was like a Friday. He's like, you're there Friday, Saturday, and you're done. And I just need you to make it through one, and then you'll guarantee the second one. And I said, okay. So I went to 1 practice. All right. They put me in the singlet. Thing's wicked comfortable. Like, I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed rocking the singlet. Okay. I did make it very awkward when I wore it. I was trying to make it as weird as possible. There was a lot of me doing pelvic thrusts in the hallway to the wrestling room. I was definitely clowning this thing up. I was like, "Hello, ladies. Welcome to Coach Motown." It was really, I couldn't help it. I was making it super, super awkward. Which, if you know me, that makes a little bit of sense, kind of a clown. And
yeah.
So they go in, they're teaching me stuff, and they're showing me how to grapple and teach me the rules. I'm like, okay, cool. And it was a good practice, good workout. I sweat a lot, and I got under whatever the weight limit I had to be in that. Took like 2-3 weeks. First match, they get the headgear on me. I go in, they set you up. Ref blows the whistle. This dude, who's 5 inches shorter than me, shoots for my face and slaps me on the chin. Now, in my neighborhood, a dude slapping you in the face, worst thing that can happen. And all of my basketball teammates are here with me watching Big Mo wrestle. So I go, oh no. And so I start throwing punches. Got me kicked out. I got us 0 points. And the wrestling coach said, thanks, big guy. Never come back. So that's my wrestling story. That's the one time I wrestled. Did not end well. If they would have explained to me that sometimes when they do the grappling, they're shooting for your head to get the lock, sometimes they slap you in the chin. If they would have told me that, probably would have been more prepared. But that's just how it went down. So my wrestling debut, I'm 0-1 wrestling.
I was hoping for you choke slamming somebody or something, like just reverting this like some straight WWF stuff and just.
I hip tossed a girl once.
What?
I hip tossed a girl once.
Really?
I believe that coming from you. Like that just sounds like something that your wonderful life would have.
We'll get back to the practice, but I just, since this is a storytelling podcast, this is a really good one. I got into wrestling not all that differently from Mo. I played linebacker 8th grade in high school or in middle school and was a thumper. And my head football coach was also the wrestling coach, and he was like, "You're tough and strong. You should wrestle." And it was like wrestler or play basketball. And I played basketball the year before, but I was like riding the bench, backup point guard. So I was like, all right, I'll go up for this wrestling thing. So I wrestled 172, and it was, to be honest with you, great. Like right out of the gate. I won regions. Like I think my first year I was like 18-1. So I was just strong. To be honest with you, I was pretty strong as a middle schooler. So I get to 9th grade, and I'm doing pretty much the same. I'm pretty stout, at least in the region. And there's a girl in my weight class, and it was one of these situations where, you know, I don't want to demean it at all. She's a tough girl. She's actually quite fun. I got to know her for a few years because we were in the same region, got to see each other quite a bit. But she wanted to wrestle, and it was one of those things. Well, we're not going to not let a girl do a sport with the boys. You know, it's like if a girl wants to play football, strap on a helmet. Yep. It puts me in a hard space because you go out there and you're getting booed because it's a girl, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
right?
Do I lay down? Do we compete? Like, do we compete as athletes, or do I just stop? So they blow the whistle, and I just lunge right into her, straight hip toss, slam her as hard as I would slam anybody else. Straight pin. It's like 4 seconds, and I am booed out of the building. They are so mad at me. People are yelling at me like her home team, screaming. The coach literally tells me put on my hoodie, and I had to wait in the locker room the rest of the meet. I couldn't even come out. And she, by the way, she was great about it. She wrestled at Henry County. She was amazing. She was like, don't worry about it. She was like, you got to teach me that move. And there was actually, because we got out of each other's weight class by, junior year, there was definitely like a cool time where we were at Woodward Academy tournament where I was like showing her moves and stuff. So she was pretty cool, but dude, that's a bad way to be in. Like, I'll never forget that. I was like, what am I supposed to do?
It's so funny because like with women in sports, if it's inter male and female, you can't win ever as a male. It's like you just can't win, unfortunately, because if you play them hard and then you hip toss them and you win something really fast, it's, oh my God, why would you do that to a girl? But then if you lose to the girl, it's like, oh, you got beat by a girl.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You can't lay down. You can't give it your all, even though you should, because hey, we're all competing. But like, no matter what you do, you're looked down upon. It's like, it's ridiculous. Like, there was a girl football player in our league. She played corner and would lay people out from time to time. But if you hit her, it was a problem. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Just let her hit me? No,
I liked it a lot better when I was on the golf team. I wouldn't mind losing to a girl golf at all. That was a lot better.
There's no physicality.
Exactly, and that's why people got angry.
I had one of these as an athlete and one of these as a teacher. So I'm going to tell the athlete one, and then I'll tell the teacher one real quick. As an athlete, I remember being a sophomore in high school. Now, we had won state. I'm one of the top D linemen in our district, and I'm on the board for all state already as a sophomore, which is pretty tough to do. And this girl comes to practice. She wants to be a running back.
Oh,
out girl. She I wouldn't say she was like thick, but she had some muscle to her, and she was on I think she must have done like powerlifting or something.
You've got to be tough as nails to play running back.
And so the coach is like trying to explain to her, was like, hey, why don't you try, wide receiver. Why don't you? He was literally naming other positions, and she's like, no, I really want to be a running back. And so he brought me over and was like, this is the kind of person who will tackle you if you play running back. And she couldn't have been more than 5'7". And she's like, no, I'll be fine. And my coach is like, are you sure about this? And she's like, yeah, let me get a shot. So he goes, Mahoney tackler. And I'm like, no. He's like, no, I'm serious. Like,
for this coach.
She needs to understand. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it, because if I hurt her, then I'm the guy who broke a girl at practice. I'm not doing this. And so finally she like starts insulting me. It was like, you better do it, you big wuss. And I'm like,
oh God.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. So they literally lined her up, and then we did the 2-man drill. So there are 2 offensive linemen. There's me, and there's a linebacker.
Oh, those are the best.
And literally, I shed the guy with a quick move. It was been like a right hand to a rib. Mm-hmm. I'm right there, and dude, I felt the breath leave her body.
I'm sorry,
and I was like, I am so sorry. And she's just girl played the rest of the season though.
Yes,
still played running back.
Nice.
She was a tough chick, and still to this day, one of the only people from high school I still talk to. And she still makes fun. She's like, remember when you laid me out? And I'm like, that's all your fault. You had every opportunity to go, you know what? I don't want to be hit by the monster.
See, the coach would have battled her wrong. He should have been like, these are the people you make miss. You want to play running back? These is who you make miss.
Over that helmet, lay Mo out.
No. See, no. You're 5'7". He's 6'7". No, you just make him miss. He can't be that fast. Hit him with the 1-2 spin move, and you're good. He's gonna maybe arm tackle you, and that's the worst you have to deal with, because you don't want that big dude falling on you.
No,
so you make him miss.
I feel like you play DN, coach. I think you'll appreciate this. I was an option quarterback for most of football, and I was just that dumb kid put his head down.
Yeah, I was
tough. I was just tough. Right. That's all. That was my quality as quarterback. Just tough. I just keep getting back up. Poor defensive linemen are like, "Will you just stop?"
Yeah, see,
you're giving me shin splints. Could you calm down, buddy?
I'd have been great. I'd been like, let me be your option running back, Donnie. Put your head, just toss me the ball. Put your head down. I'm gonna use you as my block.
I get a chop block. I'm gonna get a chop block on this big fella. You drop kick him.
Let's go.
Now, as a coach, I have a story for the my ladies playing boys sports. My first year in Texas, our varsity girls team was not very good. Our varsity boys team was solid, and as the new head coach, I was like, okay, let's work out. Well, girls season starts 2 weeks before, because volleyball ends sooner than football. And so I'm doing football and girls basketball. And I have a girl whose game is just nice. She's fast. She plays defense. She can move. And so I'm like, hey, I'm going to have you play on the boys for practice. But because she can't, like, legally she couldn't, because there is a girls team. She has to play on the girls team, but she comes to our practices. First boys tryout day, like, why is she here? And I was like, because she's a basketball player. The dude who gave attitude, I was like, okay. So I put him in one-on-one drills. She crosses him over and he falls on his face.
Nice.
And I'm just sitting there going, basketball is basketball. All right. You fools need to understand that she right now would be starting on varsity if I could have her on the boys team. Yep. Like, just plain and simple. She's better than you.
Nice. Yeah, when I coach girls, I definitely also would have them play against the boys all the time. And the guys would never understand why girls are so physical. Like, it's the funniest thing watching the girls play, because they're usually so much more physical than the guys are, that it completely weirds them out, and you end up with a win because the guys don't know how to play against girls who are that physical. It's the funniest thing watching one of your female post players post up. It's hilarious.
You should have backed down. But back to the practice, carrying mats, coach. If you ever wrestled and you had to wrestle practice, Devin, if you ever watch wrestlers, I think it's pretty common. It's tradition. You got to carry the mats out, because typically the basketball players get the court first, and you got to wait till they're done. So the way that wrestling practice worked at my school, and I think the layout's pretty common in most high schools, was the gym is on the ground floor. There are stairs that lead to a top floor. So while the basketball players practiced basketball, we ran up the stairs, around, down the stairs, up the stairs, around, down the stairs, until they were done. So we just ran for like an hour. And then when they cleared the basketball court, then we carried the mats. And if you've never carried a wrestling mat, an amateur wrestling mat, for like 3 circles, they're like 1,000 pounds. They cut them in the thirds. It took the entire team to carry a third of the mat. And we'd roll out the mats after we ran for an hour, and then we would wrestle each other. And it's just like the most brutal. And it's like it's all calisthenics. It's just push-ups. It's just jump squats. It's just wrestling. It's just strength and cardio. That's all you do. There's no weights. Like we never did any of that. And then even one summer because at one point I was pretty good, and like my aunt and uncle wanted me to kind of lean into it. They thought it was a future there for me. They sent me to what's called like the Georgia Caveman Camp, where basically you do the exact same thing in like this old church that has no air conditioning in the summer in Georgia. Oof. And you just do it like in the pure heat, and it's just brutal. You just sweat for days.
I have never ever seen high school wrestling because it doesn't exist out here in like the inner city.
At all?
No, I've never seen a team that actually has had a wrestling team. Like it's just not something that happens out here, unless it's like the prep schools, like the private schools.
The private schools have it, but those are also the same schools that have lacrosse.
Yeah,
okay, I got
you. Another thing that I have never ever seen.
Yeah, I won the Woodward Academy tournament in 9th grade, and it's a prep school, and it's like a pretty big tournament that they let some of the public kids come and do. So I can understand that. I remember when I moved to Georgia from Ohio, only girls can play volleyball here.
What?
Yeah, you can only play volleyball if you're a girl, because I really loved volleyball and wanted to play, and they were like, no, absolutely not. That's a girl sport, which wasn't the way. But like in Ohio, I guess in the Midwest, wrestling's a big deal. I remember like going to wrestling meets at high schools. Like that, I like Georgia, you'd go to watch a Friday night football game. In Ohio, you would do that in the wintertime. You go to a wrestling meet, and it's actually well attended. You know, there'd be 500,000 people there cheering, popcorn stuff.
Wow, yeah, nothing like that out here. But volleyball is both. I would always make fun of the volleyball players though, and just tell them you're just 5-on-5 that don't know how to dribble a basketball. Y'all need to stop that.
But the boys can play.
Yeah,
I want to play volleyball much.
A lot of the basketball players would practice with the volleyball players just to work on their ability to jump. That was really it.
All right. Well, we have one more question, and then make sure you keep your weight back, Donnie, because sometimes there's a curveball. So here we go. Our question: would you be willing to do a show like Survivor? Now, I'm gonna go first, just because I've got my answer. No, I would not, because after about 2 days, I'm going to be so hungry. I'm going to be staring at people. I'm going to be thinking like, chicken? Human? I'm just telling you, like, I don't think I would last very long. It would not be good. It would be really uncomfortable. Or I would take it too serious, and I would be like making a mud hut somewhere. Like, no one come on my land. Like it would just I either see my stomach taking advantage of the situation or my competitiveness making me go crazy. Like those are the only options. So Donnie, Survivor, is it happening?
So I've never really watched a show. My in-laws did, so I've caught a little bit of it. Like they don't let you starve. Like at some point you get some food. Like if you win the challenges and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So I think I'm dumb enough and like competitive enough to try. Like I think I would if I had the opportunity. I'd be like, I could do this, as long as I wouldn't die. Like as long as I knew I wouldn't die. Like if there was like, I don't know, pineapples available. Like if I needed to eat, there was something I could eat. I think I would try it, because I don't think I could like catch fish with a stick or something like that. I couldn't do that. But all of the challenges and all of the stuff that goes on the island and whatnot, and sleeping outside and whatnot, I could do that.
All right. Dev, how about you?
To steal a line from Gabe Patillo, the chubby ninja himself. Nah, Doc. Nah, bro. There's no way.
It's like a paid vacation, man.
Paid vacation? No. So you almost had me cuss. Paid vacation. My vacation, I'm somewhere chilling, doing nothing. I'm not hunting for my food and living outside. Nah, bro.
Don't they play like games and stuff? Like they got to do like team challenges and stuff.
The closest thing I'm doing to something like that would be like back in the day when they had the MTV, like the Real World Road Rules Challenge.
Yeah,
that I'm down for. Survivor? Nah, I'm good.
You lose weight. You know, like
Oh goodness.
Basically, like Survivor is Castaway with like teams. I'm cool. Not happening.
See, I think I would actually do better with Castaway.
Like by yourself?
If you made it where I'm by myself,
no,
I feel like I could last longer.
No, you couldn't.
Here's the thing:
that loneliness.
I could go like 2 weeks without talking to people with a big old smile on my face.
You say that.
Yeah, then you create Wilson.
Yeah,
it's done gone nuts. And when you get back to the States, you can't even sleep in the bed because it's weird. You got to sleep on the floor,
dude. So that's actually like one of my favorite moments in a movie. It's not that one. It's the Count of Monte Cristo one. You guys ever seen that one? That's based off the book. The moment when the guy's like, he goes in to find him, he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's laying on the floor. He's like, "I just got used to this. The bed's too soft. Sorry, homie." That's one of my favorite scenes ever in a movie. I was like, "Oh, that was dope." Okay, all right, we're at the end. Wait, back.
Nah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Not kidding. Got you.
Oh no! I lean forward. This can't be good.
Swing and a miss. All right, so this is a really silly one that my wife gave me. Would you rather launder money or sell dope? Which one would you prefer to do? If you had to do one of the two, you happen to be in some kind of situation where you had to either launder money or sell dope. Which one would you pick? Start with Donnie, because you're the boss. You'd rather sell the dope, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna be the drug runner. You gonna set it all up.
Get you a network operations. Yep. It's like just Craigslist with just something else to sell, man. I've sold all kinds of things. It's just another product I gotta move.
Just natural born hustler over here. I can see it now. He's working at GameStop, making a way.
You know what goes well with Battlefield 5? I see you eyeing that PlayStation VR. Would you like to enhance the experience? You're thinking about buying a Wii U. I can help you with that.
Wow. Natural born hustler. What about you, Mo?
Okay. The dope one I'm like strong no on. But the money laundering, if I'm laundering money for bad people,
that's white crime stuff, man. That's like 50 years in prison.
But if it's money laundering, there's a good chance that I'm laundering money for people who are selling dope.
That's right. Exactly.
Both are awful. So
like on a bigger network level too, like in a much bigger deal. That's mafia stuff, man. You're talking Rico, Mo.
Here's what I would do. I would sell dope, but I would never actually make a sale. I would just be uncomfortably walking around with a backpack going, "Please no one talk to me. Please no one talk to me. I need to get home." It would be the worst. I would just make.
He's like, I'm thinking of like Will Ferrell from Ricky Bobby, like a nice drug dealer. Like, hey man, you got some dope?
Oh goodness.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh. All right.
What's your answer?
Yeah.
What are you white collar crime or blue collar crime?
Much like Donnie, I would definitely be the dope boy. All my years of retail experience, man, I can sell water to a well. So I would definitely be running the dope game. I'm not laundering any money. I'm good, because that just means you are like the hand that's washing stuff for like the mafia or whoever, and you mess up, you gone.
Yeah, you just disappear, man. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, you get caught, you going to jail forever. Like there's no winning that.
There's no way you don't get out of that.
I don't know if you've seen Ozark on Netflix. Yeah, nah. There's no money laundering for me. I'm good. That's just nope, not gonna happen.
All right.
So. Fun question. Good, good, wholesome question.
Okay. So we're at the end of the show. This is where we talk about the things we've been doing. But before that, we talk about our game of the year 2018, the most anticipated game of the year list out of all the PSVG Network, because we do it every week. So here we go. Donnie, as of right now, what is your game of the year?
Far Cry 5.
Oh, well, okay. Think about it if you need to.
I don't. I haven't played anything that's given me as as much fun, as much enjoyment in a game than Far Cry 5. Hollow Knight and God of War close, but they are not Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is first-person GTA with hilarious characters and tons of awesome physics. I mean, it's just a blast. I enjoyed every bit of the hours that I put into it.
All right, Dev, how about you?
Well, we all know mine is also Far Cry 5. I feel like that's going to end up being the PSVG game of the year. I think a lot of us have had just enough fun with it to where it's just great. Well, we got the fall coming up, so it might be.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of Red Dead. You got some Tomb Raider, got some Smash. Like, there's a lot coming.
Tomb Raider, I forgot. That's the one game I am picking up day one.
I'm getting that one too. Yeah, I'm getting a bunch, man. I felt like 8 games just sitting there.
Love me some Tomb Raider. That may take my game of the year because I love that game.
It looks good.
But then again, Far Cry has a bow too. Any game with a bow, I'm sold on. You give me a bow, I'm good. But Far Cry 5, man, that game is just special. It's so much fun.
Well, mine still hasn't changed.
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
NHL?
It's still NHL 19.
How?
It's still.
I'm shocked.
Again, I've mentioned and alluded to other websites and their writing so as not to say that I said things that I've seen firsthand, so that I don't break my non-disclosure because I'm smart. Thank you, Game Informer. But NHL, it's special, man. It's got all the bells and whistles, all the fine tuning, all of the updated graphics, and all of the dopiness goodness that I love. And I'm very, very excited for it. I hope people jump in it the way that I've been blessed to. And I hope that it leads to more community playing it. Now, normally NHL has gone on EA Access first. It's normally NHL, followed by Madden, followed by Live, followed by FIFA. FIFA is normally the one that takes the longest. So it should be on EA Access first. So my EA Access friends, we should be able to play sooner together. But I'm really jacked. NHL 19. I know I love Madden. I know I gave Madden a 10, but still, I'm in love and cannot wait for NHL 19. I hope more people play. So,
can I play the demo? Can I play the trial?
You'll get your 10 hours on EA Access.
When's
but
it come out?
Not for, I think it's like 2 more weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So very, 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 very excited for you to play. So with that, we get to go where we talk about the stuff we're doing, the stuff we've done, the stuff we want to do, and the goodbyes and where they can find us. So Boss Man Don, where can all the good, loyal, wonderful PSVG family, PSVG OT family find you?
They should find me in our Discord, the Make Us Better community Discord, which you can get access to if you go to psvg.blog and click on the Discord link at the top. I'm there every day, all day long, arguing up, down, left, right, and the other way, telling Dev why he's wrong. And if you don't Discord, if you're not into that, you can find me on Twitter at Playing Nintendo. Ain't no G's in Playing Nintendo.
Respect. All right. Dev, how about you, brother?
Like Donnie said, you can definitely find me in the Make Us Better Discord where I'm telling Donnie why he's wrong because he's always wrong. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter. Come pick a fight at Tyus. And that's where I spend most of my time.
Respect. Okay. You can find me at the Coach Hulk, or I think it's Mahoney Family. I don't remember which one it is. It's one of those two. You cannot really find me on the Discord. I'm not in there a lot. Okay. If you go to the sports one and leave a comment, I normally see those first. Like that's probably the only channel that I actually pay attention to.
You got to engage more. We miss you, Mo.
Well, I'll work on that in March. But my review is almost done for Madden 19. Again, I've already told you my score. It's a 10. I have no problem putting that on there. However, the reason it took me so long is I'm still finishing up some stuff on the PS4 version, which has been a little more buggy. A couple issues that I've found. But that doesn't affect it for me overall because the PC one was so clean and so was the Xbox one. So that's the only reason I've actually reported a couple things to the best of my ability. Sony makes it really hard to report issues, like when you find stuff. So I've just been going to EA and saying, hey, here's the problem I'm having. Here's where this popped up. My big review, I have now edited the first 11 pages. I'm down to 5 pages left, which means, guys, I'm probably 3 weekends away from dropping it on the PSVG.blog, the best PSVG.blog around. So those are things coming from me. But with that, It's the end. We miss you, family. Have a great week. Do what you do. Know that we love you. And that's game over.
Shut up and sit down.